Hey guys, what is going on today, or should I say tonight? It's like 12:40 in the morning. I guess that would be morning. I don't know. Today is a little bit something special. I am joined by a live audience. Say hi, guys. Alright, that wasn't so optimistic. But without further ado, let's get to the story of Chapter 3. Chapter 4. Thank you. Chapter 4. The Celestia Damned Gala Tickets from Tartarus Part 3. That's where I got the 3 from. The restaurant was so quiet, you could hear a pin drop on a mattress in the next town over. Rarity was so angry she looked like she was about to explode twice. Spike sucked up all the courage he could muster and went against every last instinct to open his mouth. I just remembered something, Dusk, he lied. You forgot to bring your wallet, didn't you? What do you mean, Spike? Dusk objected. I have a wallet, right? Spike covered his surrogate brother's mouth with a claw. So we have to leave right now so we don't have to pay, Spike continued through gritted teeth. The mayor said nothing, as they were too busy having a stare down. Well, Rarity was having a stare down. Pinky was just sat there smiling, retaining the best poker face in equestrian history. Meanwhile, Dusk's eyes widened Dusk's eyes widened in realization. That's right, he said. I totally forgot to bring my wallet. Oh well, we better scram, Spike, and I never really touched their food anyway. Thinking about it, I think we could go our separate ways at this point. Not that I don't enjoy your company, Pinky. It's just that I've got some errands to run. It was nice running into you, Rarity. I'm so sorry for Pinky's behavior. She hasn't been feeling herself today. And with that, Dusk and Spike ran out the door faster than you could say, what a freaking cop-out. After the boys left, Rarity finally spoke up in a harsh whisper. This means war, she hissed, a combination of ice, venom, and steel coating her every word. I wouldn't have it any other way, Mule, Pinkamena challenged, but Pinky said otherwise. Actually, I don't want Dusk coming in between us, Rarity, the pink party pony proclaimed. You are just being a real meanie pants about it, and with that kind of attitude, I don't think you're the kind of filly to be Dusky Wusky's special sun pony. I'm going to the boutique to freshen up, Rarity said, and I don't want you of all ponies to be dragged between me and Dusk, but you have forced my hoof. From this point on, we're our enemies. She turned her back and began walking out of the restaurant. Please don't do this, Rarity, Pinky said, her emotions flickering back and forth from an upbeat mood to a solemn tone of regret. I really still want us to be friends. She dashed up to the fashion designer and gave her the most well-intentioned hug she could ever give, crying softly. Don't throw away our friendship. I just because of some stupid boy. Sniff. Pretty please with sugar-coated dandelions on top? What the buck are you doing? Ran to Pinkamena. She'll take advantage of your kindness and steal Dusk right under your nose. Maybe, Pinky thought, but I know Rarity better than that. She's the element of generosity, after all. It wouldn't be OOC for her to win Dusky Wusky unfairly, even if I gave her the opportunity. Whatever, it's your funeral, huffed Pinkamena. Just don't go crying to me when that slut comes around to brag about the mini bookworm in her oven. After a while, Rarity stared into Pinky's eyes, which showed nothing but pleading sadness. Finally, the marshmallow sighed in defeat. Fine, Pinky, we can still be friends, she relinquished. Whoopee! Buck me sideways, and here I thought my life was going to get interesting, said Pinkamena. But, she interrupted, that doesn't mean I'll just hoof Dusk Shine over on a platter. I stand corrected. I propose a contest, she continued. Whoever can win the honor of becoming Dusk's date to the gala with the feminine charms by the end of the day shall inevitably become his lover, and the loser will be forced to halt their advances. Agreed? Okie dokie Loki, said Pinky. And in the end, we're still friends, right? Of course. Hip hip hooray! Oh, and one more thing, Rarity, she added. What is that, Pinky? Can I have one teensy-weensy hay fry from your head? I'm still super hungry. Dusk galloped through the streets of Ponyville, bumping into ponies and causing minor spills wherever he went. Thanks again for the bail, Spike, he said when he finally caught his breath. No prob, bro, Spike said modestly. What are number one assistants for? His expression turned to that of concern. But you're still going to go with Pinkie Pie, right? Remember, I'll call dibs on Rarity, and no living mortal can disrespect the dibs. I still have no idea who to take to the gala, Spike, confessed Dusk. I mean, Applejack asked me first, then Pinky went all psycho on me and guilt-tripped me into asking her. Rarity probably thinks we're already as good as married, and Rainbow Dash wants to clop me in public. Then why not take Dash? Grumbled Spike. Spike! Sorry, where are we going again? To the only pony in town I know who's not gone completely bonkers, said Dusk with determination. Oh, hello, Dusk, Fluttershy said timidly as she opened the door of her cottage. Come right in, and if you don't mind. I'm sorry if I was unprepared for your visit, but you didn't plan a visit. Dusk walked right in and plopped on the nearest sofa in exhaustion. Oh my, are you all right? No, said Dusk bitterly. In fact, this is the worst day of my life. Being harassed, knocked out, tortured, and fought over by different girls can do that to a guy. Oh my, said the yellow doormat. That sounds serious. Do you know what can really relax my animals when they get stressed out? What? A nice massage, and letting it all out with a long talk, she said innocently. Of course! I'm normally the one doing all the talking, but in your case, I think you'll have a lot to talk about. That is, if you don't mind. Shine's ears perked up at the massage. That doesn't sound too bad, he said slyly. And then she threw a hayburger in her face, Dusk said while laying on his chest, Fluttershy's hooves soothing his pinched up muscles. Oh my goodness, Fluttershy continued. I had no idea that Pinky had such issues like that. She's always such a happy pony. Do you think that we need to have an intervention? Oh, definitely, agreed Dusk. I'm still talking in Fluttershy's voice. Oh, definitely, agreed Dusk. I have to have a talk with her, get some feelings out in the open. But first, a more important issue is at Hoof. He regretfully interrupted Fluttershy's massage by rolling over on his back. Who do you think I should take to the Galloping Gala, Fluttershy? Well, she said, I think you should take Spike. She's ever so helpful to you. Plus, she leaned over to a whisper, I think she might have a crush on you. You know, like the ones you have on your teachers when you're little. I think it would make her very happy by taking her just for one night. Dusk burst out laughing at this. What? Did I say something wrong? Did Spike overhear me? Spike, please don't be mad. Fluttershy hollered into the next room. As a matter of fact, Spike said with a growl, I did overhear you. And for your information, Flutters, I'm a full-fledged guy of a dragon. Plus, Dusk is like a brother to me. Oh my goodness, Fluttershy squeaked, but blushing furiously. I had no idea. This is like that time I first found Angel. Oh, don't worry about it, Dusk said, trying to calm his crush. It was an honest mistake, really. Spike gets mistaken for a girl all the time. What? I do not. Ignore him. He's really ashamed about it, Dusk lied. I think I see it, commented Fluttershy. I'm no stranger to being embarrassed. Anyway, back on topic, Dusk said. Who would be your second option for the gala? Oh, never mind, Fluttershy mumbled. Come on, Fluttershy, I need an outside opinion, begged Dusk. Never mind, it's not important, she dismissed. Please? Well, said Fluttershy, if I was in your place, I would take myself. Do you mean a cloning spell or going it solo? Asked Spike. No, I mean you should take me. She shook her head. No, that came out wrong. I meant to ask Dusk to me on a date. No, it's not a date. Well, it technically says it's a date, but I don't want to pressure you into thinking it's a date, Dusk. But if you can be a date, want it to be, even though I'm not sure if I like you that way or not. At the gala, aka Fluttershy's Woodland Wonderland. I'd inhaled deeply, smiling at all these I'd inhaled deeply, smelling all the exotic flowers of the Royal Canterlot Gardens. I had to relish the scent because on that night, and only would every single skipping. After taking it all in, I would sing ever so softly in order to call all the critters that lived there. One by one, the cutesy-wootsy animals would crawl out of their little homes and would introduce myself to each and every last one of them, even if it would take all night. There would be blue jays, mockingbirds, wombats, hummingbirds that really hum, buzzards that really buzz, koalas, pandas, grizzly bears and their little cubs, flamingos, dormice, toucans, owls, froggies, otters, and hundreds of others. We'd be such good friends, and I would love them all, and they would all love me back. Then a wood skull. Sorry, I've always managed you as a woods in this private little story of mine. Do you mind? No? Okay, then. Would silently creep up on me, and would also, drawn by the sound of my voice, he would step on a twig, startling me. Sorry, the woods colt. I don't know if that's my bona fide changing that last word or not. I don't know. Let me turn this off real quick. Did I turn it off? Okay. What's I didn't mean to scare you. Are you lost? I would look around. Oh no. Oh no, I'm all in my joy in introducing myself to the wildlife. I seem to have forgotten my way back to the dance. I probably wasn't even in Candlelight anymore. I nodded, not saying a word. Well, you shouldn't wander off on your own, the woods boy would scold me in a well-intentioned manner. A young filly like yourself must be at least a little afraid of the dark. But sir, I would finally say, I'm not a filly, but a mare. I don't Okay. Oh, he said bluntly. In this case, I suppose you could take care of yourself. Carry on, then. He started to walk away. Please don't leave me. I'd call out, galloping to embrace him with my trembling hands. Even though I'm a grown pony, I'm still scared, stiff of the dark. Please, you need to stay here and protect me until morning. Don't worry, he'd assure me, returning my hug with care and stallion-like strength. I'll be here to guard you, always, my fair maiden. You really think I'm beautiful? I'd say, hiding behind my mane just a little. But of course, he'd say, placing a hoof under my chin and adjust my eyes to contact him. I've just begun to know you, but I feel like we're destined for each other. I also feel we can do this. Then he would kiss me on our tongues doing some kind of intricate dance. His horn would light up, delicately untying the laces that held my... Well, this is going... His horn would light up, delicately untying the laces that held my gown together. My wings would gently lift for arousal, soon flapping us into the sky. We would both be terrified from our inexperience with flying, but as long as we held on tight, nothing could come to harm us. Oh, how we would... Is it just me, or is this fantasy more realistic than I'm usually picturing it? Fluttershy's eyes flew open as she realized she was caught in an incredibly steamy scene of 50 Shades shot. She had accidentally locked lips with Dusk in real life as well, as he was kissing her a little back in return. He was? He was enjoying this. Oh my goodness, 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 she thought as she jerked away. She flew up to her bedroom as fast as she could, hastily boarded the doors and windows, hid under the bed, and swore to Celestia that she'd never go outside again as long as she lived. She never felt more embarrassed in as long as she could remember. With her luck, Dusk would probably think that she's just plain easy and not worth to be his friend. Or worse, he might have become aroused and try to be friends with benefits with her. The thought of being somebody's personal hooker terrified Fluttershy. And now 1,000 worst cases scenarios played through her mind. There was a knock on the door, the one where Fluttershy secured with a repurposed bookshelf. Fluttershy? Called the voice of Dusk. Are you in there? No, she lied, trying to disguise her voice. No pony named Fluttershy lives here. I heard she moved to the next town over about 3 seconds ago. Fluttershy, could you come out here? We need to talk. No, Fluttershy said stubbornly. Go away. She paused for a moment. Please? If you don't let me in, I'll just have to force myself in anyway. Dusk, can you just leave me alone, please? I'm asking really, really nicely. Look, sighed Dusk. I just want you to let me in so I can ask you to a grand galloping gala. There was a second around moving, and the door opened by a crack. One of Fluttershy's eyes peered out. What did you say? She asked with disbelief. Dustshine tore open the door and got down to grovel at the tree's knees. Please be my date to the gala, he said, trying to retain his dignity as best as he could. You're my only hope. Please, Fluttershy? I'll have to think about it if that's okay with you. In the meanwhile, could you please leave me alone? So what, are you just going to tell all the rest of them no? Asked Spike as he rode Dusk out of Fluttershy's cottage. That you have chosen somebody else to take to the gala just like that? That's the plan, said Dusk. You're even going to tell Pinkamena? His surrogate brother pressed. I've got a plan for that too, said Dusk a little uncertainly. Oh, and what is that? I'm still kind of working on it. The point is that I've made my choice and I'm not going to be treated like a bargaining chip anymore, he announced with rewarded confidence. Then Dusk noticed something a little strange. Hey, do you realize it's been raining for like the past 10 minutes? He wondered aloud. What? What do you mean? If it was raining, we'd already be wet. That's what I was thinking, he said suspiciously. He looked in the sky. A patch of sunlight and the stormy clouds followed him wherever he went. With a closer look, he discovered that the hole in the clouds was manipulated by a lone Pegasus. Rainbow Dash, he hollered. Is that you? You're insulting me, Dusk, Dash said, popping her head from the hole in the cloud. Who else would be generous and or awesome enough to operate a mobile hoe through this rain, just to keep you dry? Speaking of which, could you move a little slower? This thing's harder to move than it looks. Duskshine was unmoved. You're not trying to butter me up, are you? He inquired. Nah, me? Why would I try to bribe you for the ticket? She chuckled. You still haven't chosen yet, have you? I never said anything about the ticket, Dusk deadpanned. Oh, said Rainbow Dash, feeling a little dumb. Anyway, are you gonna take me or the best choice, me? Fluttershy, answered Dusk. Say again. Either I have some dust in my ear, or that's a pretty weird, pretty weird way of pronouncing Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash, I'm serious. I asked Fluttershy to be my date, said Dusk, trying to hammer in the point. And she said yes? I doubt it, retorted Rainbow Dash. Dusk looked at the ground. Well, he confessed she actually didn't give me a straight answer. She just told me she'd think about it. Now that sounds more like Fluttershy. She'll probably chicken out in the last second. That said, you probably want to have a backup date. And who else can you depend on the old swagger master Dash? She battered her eyelashes in a ridiculous manner. No, Dusk said calmly. There's no way I'm changing my mind. Fine, she scowled as her beam quickly turned into a sneer. Then I guess Fluttershy can keep you dry in the rain from now on. Dusk's eyes widened. Rainbow, Mary, and Dash, don't you dare! Foosh! Before Dusk could finish his threat, rain started pouring down on him, and Spike relentlessly. That could have gone better, Spike commented. Gad, I can't read. Dusk trudged through the streets of Ponyville, his thoughts full of bitter regret. Okay, calculated for next time, I'm going to tell the filly that I've already found a date. But I'm not going to tell her who. Fluttershy has enough on her plate already. Yeah, that should do it. Darling, exclaimed Rarity as she saw her one true love. She had apparently washed up from the incident back at the restaurant and dressed herself in a lavender poncho for the weather, complete with a custom saddle umbrella. You're positively drenched. Dusk looked down at his hooves. They were covered in mud and grime. Isn't it a far walk from the house? He said. I think I can afford to get a little wet. Nonsense, my dearest, the marshmallow proclaimed, levitating the umbrella onto his back. We shall go to my place and freshen up. Besides, I have a new suit for you there. As Rarity searched for Dusk's new threads in the carousel boutique, a passing thought came to the purple unicorn's mind. Rarity, aren't you trying to bribe me by taking me to the Grand Galloping Gala by giving me a top-of-the-line clothes, are you? He asked. Hogwash, she denied. Denied. I simply cannot let a stallion of your stature go around walking in the muck. Not to mention that I doubt that you bothered to purchase any formal attire yourself. I do have a powder blue tuxedo from my high school dance, the bookworm offered. Rarity cringed at the mental image. I really don't think that would still fit you, darling, she said with a polite laugh. Now, the shower's upstairs. Wouldn't you want to get the mud off on your wouldn't you want to get You wouldn't want to get mud on your brand new suit, would we? Oh, I know where this is going. I remember this part. Alright. As Dusk turned on the water, he pondered about breaking the news to Rarity. Rarity, about the gala. No, that wouldn't work. Rarity, we need to talk about this obsession with me. No, that would get me hit with another sewing machine. I think we need to see other ponies. No, that implies we've been seeing each other. How about all of a sudden Porcelain Hooves covered his eyes? Guess who, darling? A seductive voice whispered in his ear. Duskshine had 3 reactions to this, each in this order. Shock. Holy Faust, Rarity's in the shower with me. Arousal. Oh boy, I bet Hermione's wet again. Panic. I'm so bucked. Shit. I'm really sorry about the outburst at the restaurant, Dusky. One of the soaking wet unicorn's baby talk. I lost my place. Is there anything I can do to make it up to you? Meanwhile, the other one was hyperventilating for the second time that day. Don't turn around, he commanded himself. Keep your eyes shut, and whatever you do, don't look at Hermione. I know I can be such a naughty little filly sometimes, she continued. I guess I need a little discipline at those times. She leaned closer to nibble his ear. Don't look at the mane. Don't look at her 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 mane. Do you know how to discipline naughty little filly, Dusky? She said as she took a break from nibbling. Well, do you? No, ma'am, Dusk stumbled with his words. He didn't dare move a muscle. No matter, she said as she switched from baby talk to the sultry tone from earlier. I can teach you that, along with oh so many other things, like how to reward those naughty little fillies for being extra naughty. She turned to Dusk, shine around. But first, could you open those beautiful eyes of yours for me, darling? You haven't so much as looked at me this whole entire time. No thanks, Dusk said robotically. I'm perfectly fine being blind here. Well then, she said, I'm a little disappointed. I guess I'll have to tell you where to touch me. Shall we play a little game of hot and cold? Dusk, having an idea striking like a bolt of lightning, teleported back to the library. Coincidentally, that's where Fluttershy was waiting for him to come home, and she had finally come to a decision. What Fluttershy did expect was Dusk to use the door. What she didn't expect from him was to appear out of nowhere with a very horny Rarity attached to him. Dusk, Rarity, she shrieked. Where did you come from? What are you doing? Why are you drenched from head to tail? Dusk scrambled to his hooves and took several deep breaths before answering. That's quite a long story, he explained. But first, what are you doing in my house? Oh, she blurted. Well, I didn't really mean to trespass on your property. I'll leave. You can get back to whatever you were doing with Rarity. She started for the door. No, she shouted abruptly. I mean, stay as long as you like. Besides, I never asked you to leave. I just wanted to know what you're doing here. Oh, I just wanted to tell you yes, I'd love to go with the gala with you. She paused for a moment. As a friend, not a date. I'm sorry, I'm just not ready for a date yet. Please don't be mad. You're not mad, are you? Dusk's reaction will have been revealed at a later time, for it was completely overshadowed by Rarity's. You what? She screamed. Of all the ponies I know, Fluttershy, why did you have to betray me like this? I thought you were my best friend, she sobbed. I'm sorry, stuttered a confused Fluttershy. What exactly am I sorry for? For stealing my away Dusk, the drama queen answered. How could you? He was my true love. Oh, said Fluttershy, in that case you can have my ticket if it means so much to you. Oh, no, Dusk interrupted. Rarity just tried to ravage me in the shower. Rarity covered Dusk's mouth with a hoof. And I owe you the utmost apologies for that, my dearest, she said in a deceiving, even tone. But it is not best to bring that up in public, especially in front of Fluttershy here. Dusk removed the muffling hoof from his mouth. But I still want to go with her, he protested. But before either mayor could respond, the telltale sound of a party cannon rang out, and the room was instantly covered with streamers and confetti. Party guests stampeded in, bringing cakes and gifts. A banner that said Dusky Wusky plus Pinky Winky forever was hung high on the bookshelves, and all the guests grabbed Dusk and threw him into the air repeatedly as Pinkie Pie sang an upbeat tune of her own devising. Dustshine is the best boyfriend I ever had. Whoopee, whoopee. Pinky. He is the cutest, smartest, all-around best pony. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm singing this. Pinky. I bet if I threw a super-duper I ain't singing this. Party, what? Pinky. He'll keep his promise and go to the gala with me. Pinky. Yes, Dusky Wusky? Said Pinky with her unwitting minions finally dropping her interest of affection on the floor. I've had enough, he said. Spike, are you there? Where are you? I'm right here, called out the voice in the crowded room. I came as soon as I heard about Pinky party. Alright, everybody else, get the buck out of my house. I need some privacy. One by one, the guests of the unwanted party walked out. The only members left in the incident were Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Rarity. Rainbow and Applejack somehow slipped in since they caught word of Pinky's party as well. I said, every pony out, he grunted. Why are you still doing here? Well, Sugar Cube, said Applejack, we believe we all have a right for the ticket, and we ain't going to leave until you come to a decision for the gala. I'm just here because you said I could stay, said Fluttershy. That isn't going to be a gala, he said with a sigh. What? Dear Princess Celestia, I am returning the tickets you sent me. I don't care if you say if its attendance is mandatory. I refuse to come. Possessing these tickets for a day has got me tortured, molested, flung into the air several times, rained on, kissed, and... I have no idea, interrupted Fluttershy. Why don't we ask for 5 more tickets? Oh, it says I have an idea. Okay, I have an idea, interrupted Fluttershy. Why don't we ask for 5 more tickets? That way we can all go, plus Spike. There was a brief silence. That's the biggest load of manure I have ever heard, Pinky Pinkamena said, both at the same time. There's no way in Tartarus we're doing that. To make a long story short, they did. Alright, there was a bunch of mistakes, but that was Chapter 4. Chapter 5 will be soon. So, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you later.